Test, test. Okay, I think it should be working now, right? Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so I just had some internet issues on the other stream, so I think everything just got screwed up. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Ellen? It should be working, but hey, everything is just test, test. Yeah, it looks like it's working. I'll test. I have to put sound on here. There we go. Ellen? Yeah, okay. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Yeah, there was a large internet glitch, so everything just blacked out, I guess, and I couldn't see. It got back, but the stream was still running, and I could see myself, and I could see the stream was still going, but I was like, I think it must have been disconnected for some reason, and so I just thought I have to start a new one. So here we are, we're back on track. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, I live in the bush, literally, so I'm still really, very grateful for the good internet that I'm having right now. Because where I came from, oh my God, that was just all the time breakup. So I've got fiber now, and it does happen once in a while, but not a lot. So I guess no complaints here. And we had a lot of rain, bad weather. So, but guys can hear me, right? I'll check it. The internet that I'm having right now. It should be working. Okay, I just need to double check. Otherwise, I'm just babbling to myself. Okay, well, here we go. Oh, it looks like it's still a little bit wonky, but let's hope it's not too bad. Okay, here we go. We should be fine. We should be fine. Okay. Okay, guys. I was thinking. Okay, let me just look. What did I miss? Why did we make those equal triple lows there? Is there another something that I did not see properly? So I went back. While I was by myself here, I thought, let me have a look a little bit better. What did happen? So I went to the 15-minute and I looked to the left because I thought, okay, if I use this wick, this is the last videos of ICT premium discount wicks, and you said you cut through candles, right? You don't have to have a wick that is next to you. It can be also wicks further down. So I was looking and I noticed this wick here. So I'd graded on the 15-minute because I didn't see anything else on the 4-hour already. We passed through the last quarter gradient. So I was like, okay, let me have a look. So I graded this one here from here to here. What you see here, you see that they went exactly to the 0.5. So that's why, and I'm leaving it on because I do think if I would grade most likely this again, I think they will overlap. Let's do that for a second just to see if they are trustworthy. So then I can leave this on. Let me see if that is applicable. So I'm still back testing let's say I'm not back testing, I'm forward testing it because I'm testing it live on stream. I don't back test anymore, to be honest. Now there's nothing wrong with backtest, but don't get me wrong. That I do not want to make that assumption in any way, but it doesn't work for me. Look at that, guys. Look at that. If I grade this one here, you see this one lines up with this level here, and this lines up with that level here. So I am taking this one off and I'm leaving this one on because we don't know if it might use these levels because we are making more wicks, right? We're creating more wicks, which means more back and forth. This is seek and destroy at some point, so it goes into wick to wick to wick to wick. But once you understand the wicks, you're not going to be surprised. You'll know where to expect behavior. You're just more aware of how wicks work. So for me, wicks, I'm gonna, like yesterday I made a joke, I'm gonna make a t-shirt. I love wicks because I do love them. Because I'm already looking, I mean, okay, it's gonna go up, but you know what? It might reject in this area here because it's a possible rejection block. It doesn't always have to do it, but it is. So if you start seeing it like that, you can literally frame and be more aware of price might turn, might reject, retrace, or sometimes also just turn, right? If there's more things lining up. Like for example, here, was this yesterday's trade? Um, no. But here you have like a beautiful, no, this isn't the, but if you have like a liquidity level in a wick, you know, and it takes liquidity, and you have SMT as well, you sort of like can be ahead, like, yeah, okay, I see you know, a daily open or let's say midnight in a large wick happens to be encapsulated. And you're like, okay, that's interesting. And then you look for SMT around that time and you see that happening. Hey, you can literally turtle soup that high or low because you've got like 3 or 4 confluences adding up, right? It's just extra adding confluences. So, but now I'm using this wick now because it lines up, and I notice as well these 2 levels. So I've, instead of using 4 levels here, I only need to use these 2 levels now because they are lining up with these 2, right? So most likely it will use one of these 2 levels to reject from again. So we're leaving this on, so everybody knows what those lines are, right? So 6 to 9. It's not much points, is it? It's just if it takes out this liquidity, it might just go a little bit lower. It might go a little bit lower. Max 629 to 63, maybe 6 point lower, or maybe 3 points lower, right? So you know now you are expecting it already. Okay, we've got our equal lows here. Now most people will take this as liquidity, right? They'll look at this low, and they have their TP there. But they're going to give back a lot of their profits on a day like this. I used to do that. That's why I reverse engineer. I was like, okay, this is what's going on. But now we are already prepared. Like if this goes down, we aren't just taking our TP here. We're not going to go, well, we would put it 1 or 2, or if you want to be safe, you just put it here, right? But we know now, okay, we could put it safely maybe at 27. We might run a little bit low, but we're not greedy. So let's get into it because it's macro time. I think this is a good short. Let's go for it. I'm gonna take it on my account as well. 342.54. Now my stop loss will be above the wick. It's still a big wick though, but it's still okay. It's 54. It's a little bit more than 3 hour trade here. Oh my god, I don't know. I'm out of this trade. Out of this account. Now I could go higher. Then I'm stopped out. But I still think it has unfinished business to the downside. $355. How's the 4 hour candle doing? Yeah. Oh, come on. It's okay. If I miss it, I miss it because it. Now, what did I say with those equal? If it's created in a macro, what time? 3:25. Takes at least half an hour before it takes it out. I'm not in because my account is still not opening up. I might have to miss it. My Wi-Fi is not. It's very slow. I'm connected to the internet at the router, so. Um, but it looks. Now, if anyone would say, oh, but hey, it didn't go over the candle. Yeah, there's a breaker, but there's no body close above it, right? You see that? There's just wicks. So I'm still bearish until we've got a body close until here. So if I see a body close over here, then I might not even wait for this. I just get out because that would invalidate my trade here. Because then this breaker becomes a breaker on the 5 minute, which is significant. But I don't know. But we could go up here into this little gap here. You know, for me, if I would like to see a move to the upside, I would like it to get into this area here, take this, and then go back to the upside. Like I showed you on the gold trade, that's what I would like to see then. Like, okay, takes out one of these levels, then go back up, and then go further down, right? Because it's going to trick everybody now that it's going to go up. And here it's going to trick everyone. It's going to go here. But it's not. Now you're opening? Oh, there you go. Okay. See, you don't want the body of a 4-hour candle to go back into this area here. So that's right over here. I do not want the body to go over this level. So my stop is good because that means the 4-hour candle will become bullish. I'm not in a trade yet. So if this is going to be a continuation candle, you don't want the body, the open, to be exceeded, right? So you see this happening here. So I think this is just manipulation up and down. But hey, it did hit 50% of that of this candle, right? So it could be enough that we go to the upside. Let's see where S&T. I might have missed the S&T. Oh yeah, we do have S&T here. Okay. Okay, we've got 4 o'clock. I'm getting out. I don't trust it. Why are you not reacting? Okay, here you go. Okay. There is S&T. We hit 0.5, like I said here. On this week, we hit a midpoint. We sort of like retested it. We are printing the 4 o'clock. Now the question is, are we going to go from here to here? Yeah. But then again, it doesn't make sense to me with the 4-hour. If we go over, if we pass this, we go over this body opening, then yeah, then we have to turn bullish. But I just don't know. See how the 1-hour looks. It looks bearish now, bullish now. Okay, so then we have like a rejection here. Oh, we're not chatting anymore because NQ is not consolidating anymore. NQ is moving, so we are not chatting. We are analysis and doing analysis, right? Okay, coffee, coffee, coffee. This is not easy price action, guys. in all honesty, it's really back and forth, and hard to read. But it's a good practice also to go over which levels are being used. Um, and so I'm looking at the hourly now. So here we have another wick, right? So the question is, we also have an order block here. Like, yeah, are we going to surpass them, or are we just going to reject in this area? Which makes sense, because if you look at this wick here on the 1 hour and you look at the 15-minute, it's exactly the midpoint is also around the midpoint of that wick, right? So sort of like looking, okay, are we going to reject here then maybe? Is that going to be a rejection, or are we going to go all the way up here and reject from this 15-minute? But we're definitely in the up move now, but still bearish. It's just listen, it's creating liquid. This is engineered liquidity. I'm not bullish really when I see this. I'm just still bearish, but then it is like, you know, like I said, it takes time before, like what time did it print it? 3:15, 3:30. What time is it now? 4:03. Do you think it will be going down at the 4:30 move maybe? Let's see. Am I frozen again? Are you kidding me? No, I don't think so. I think the internet's still good, right? Okay. Nice move. Yeah, I'm really happy that I haven't put any money on the line yet with this price action, because it's really very hostile in a way. You really have to understand that liquidity is hardly, it's just taking wicks, and then it hardly takes liquidity, right? It's just going back and forth. Um, let's quickly have a check on gold. Okay, same. Okay, so gold is doing the same thing again in the 4 hour. Okay, now let's go to the one on the 15. Now we know why it's doing this right now. Okay. Is it stalling in a wick? Does it? Are you kidding me? Is it true? Look at that. Let's see what that's half or what. I do think we might get this in the an hour later. Let's see if that's the case. I might go for a short from here. Um, let me see, what time is it? Yeah, I'm gonna wait a few more minutes and then I'm going to 7:08. Okay, let's see. I might if we are turning if the macro ends and we sort of like get like a little wick here and we go to the downside, I'm gonna short it all the way to that level. But yeah, I don't want you to go further up. I want to see down close candles forming now. I'm gonna short it from here. Come on, down close candle. Stop making down close. Make a wick, small wicky. Oh yes, come on, smaller. Come on, down close. 9, 10. I'm gonna take a risk here. Yeah, my turtle soup this because it's such a small risk here. I'm okay to take these risks. Let me see this above this wick. I know it's a bit tricky in this price action, but and then my TP. I need to enter. Oh. Um, so I'm okay to be wrong with these because they give me a good margin. Okay, stopped out. Still 10 past. Too early. It's okay. Hey Dalton, how are you doing? Yeah, internet's a bit weird. Sometimes I think I do still have some glitches, I think, but I hope it's not too bad, guys. My apologies for that, but hey, I cannot complain so far in the living where I live that it's still good enough, but but anyway, we're back. Okay, this is really, really bullish now. But hey, guys, in all honesty, what happen if you see those equal, those triple or those, I don't know how you say those many, this is an area of interest now, right? Even though it might go up and I missed the move up at the internet glitch and still waiting for that move down, but that might not come in a while. But now that that level is there. And the moment you start getting a nice move to the downside, you're sort of prepared already for those levels, and there's a wick there, so you don't, like, okay, it might not go down all the way. So that's all a lot of information that will be useful later on. Oh, we're most likely going to go to the red dotted line. I don't know if anyone's in a long. I hope it would be nice if anybody could took that long. 4 o'clock retest of the 4 in a macro, and you can take it to the upside. I was focused too much on the downside, so I did not take it. But you can use time as retest as well, right? You can see it here. If you have your specific time on that you like, you test them, and you trust them, you don't always have to wait for premium discount of the range. You can also use time opening prices as premium discount, like you can see here, right? I use 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock is one of my favorite, but 4 o'clock prints, you go above it and it prints and retests it, and it continues to move to the upside. 3 o'clock, that's actually the whole consolidation area. And then here, it's not inside a macro, but still you can use it sometimes. But you would rather want to see a move through it. So like this taps it. But in this case, how I would use it, if I would be long biased, you have a tap into it, and then the later one is above it. But then, yeah, the price action, you just want more confirmation. But this is a nice one here. In a macro, boom, and then move up. That's something that I started not so long ago that I started noticing that. So I'm also still testing that a little bit, but it's quite solid, to be honest. Okay, let's see. I think this one will go here. It will go to the settlement price. So this premium wick level, or this I should say, oh, it's also this one. Funny. Okay, is this 1 hour wick here? So this 1 hour discount wick, it tapped into the 50% and then it took off. Same happened here. It went to the 25%. We had a nice move to the upside. Oh, I think we might go higher now. Oh, I see now what's going on. I see what's going on. 25, now the 50. So we're gonna take this liquidity now. Okay. I think we are going to go back to the, okay. Okay, guys, yeah. Yeah. So yesterday, what happened yesterday? We created an equal high, literally. We did not go higher than this. We did not create an equal high, but it rejected here. Now, the rejection has happened. This is all the rejection. So I think we should prepare ourselves for a long all the way up here now to the 50%. I think, yeah. Or we're going to get one more reaction to here and then up to here. This may be for later today. Ooh. But we're definitely going to take out these highs here. Okay, this can go. We need to go. What time is it? 4:16. Okay, we've got a breaker here on the 15. Let's see. I want S&T and I want a breaker retest. Otherwise, I cannot enter. Let me go to the 5 minute. I need to go to the lower time frame. Breaker here. Beautiful breaker. Here we go. I have to wait for a retest. Might come a little bit later. What time did it's form? 2:20. What time? Okay, we went through it in the macro. Okay, good enough. 1 minute. I like it. Now what I'm going to do, what I always do, I don't want to have the whole breaker on. I know if it goes really lower, but I try to just look into this one area. It could go lower, I know, I'm aware, but I'm looking at the 1 minute and I just want it to literally just stay into this area because we do have a little bit of a gap here. Do we? No, not really. We do have a gap here. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, pay attention now. We're getting out of the N walk here as well. So now we're going up into this area here. We've got equal 740. Do we have SMT? We had, look at that here. With ES, right over here, 330. Why did I not see that one? Did I? Again, I missed this one here with 330. Oh, maybe I can't remember, but I missed that one, I guess. There was this. This is huge. This is a huge one. We have a smaller one as well, so okay. Okay, let's see now. Okay, you're gonna reject from here for a while, and then okay, we might get our retracement anytime. I think it will hit 736 and then retrace. Or are you gonna go a little higher? 739-ish. Okay. Daily open. It will be the daily open again. It will hit the daily open and then retrace. Is there a trade? We cannot take it to the daily open anymore, right? 17. No, there's two. No, we're almost there. I do expect that we will retrace again from the daily open, just like yesterday. That was my TP yesterday. I do think we're going to hit that again, and then it will be. Or are you going to take the liquidity and just run, run, run? Now let's see if we can get our breaker retest finally. The one from yesterday is all the way here, the blue box here. I'm going to leave it here. It might, but I want a 5R trade. I want a 5R trade. Let's see, we can get the breaker retest. Long. I know it's going to go higher, but we're not greedy. This is okay. 564. Let's go. We did not take out this. What time is it? 4:21. Okay. God damn it! I want a good trade. Yeah, it's keeping. It's keeping. I can see it's running, but I cannot enter. I just have to let it go, but it just keeps on running. That'll be a good entry at some point. I mean, I have now noticed that if I wait, I'm always rewarded at some point. Okay, I like this. I like these levels here. Let's see if it's here. There's one. One is here. 1.25. 0.25 matches with this. 2.5. Okay. Here we go. I think it's rejecting now. Let's see. Um, yeah. Now, because we didn't get the rejection yesterday, it might do the same thing, right? Because yesterday it also didn't go back to the breaker in the afternoon session. Sort of like it didn't go lower than, you can see it right over here. So price tends to repeat itself. In weeks here, you see it goes lower, but it doesn't go into this area here. It doesn't go below 1, 2, and again 1, low, higher, higher. So now we've got 3 points of liquidity here. Here we go. I'm going to take this off. I mean, we all know now. We are aware, right? I don't need them here. I'll get some more cleaner, my chart a bit cleaned up. Now let's see, where can we enter? We're back to original consolidation. So basically this is a mini market maker. So on the higher time frame, so if you have like a retracements on the higher time frame are basically full market maker buy models on the lower time frame, right? So, but I do, yeah, we are going higher. So hard to enter now. Okay, if it doesn't give me any structure, then I have to use time. We'll see. We just have to wait. Nothing we can do. Okay, it did not hit the daily open yet. Oh, and the daily open is it also midnight? Am I seeing that correctly? There's two things. Oh, midnight and, oh, look at that. It's daily open and midnight in one, I believe, if I'm seeing it correctly. Yes, exactly. Okay, so this is a very important point of liquidity. Now, everybody is looking for midnight, so that's why it doesn't go there. You can see it happens here again, right? Midnight is here. It's midnight and daily open, so they are together at exactly the same time. So daily open is 6 o'clock. Midnight is midnight. Eastern, both Eastern. And they overlap. I didn't even see that until now. So, and everybody's like, oh, it's going to go there. And then it just stalls, right? Again, here. It's so typical on this day. I'm waiting for a trade like this. But, it doesn't have to give it because it could already just go up to the wick here. Okay, hit daily open, so now we might get our retracement. Are you just gonna go through it? Oh my god, that's crazy. It's really hard to enter them. Hey, as long as there's no SMT, we can just ride it all the way up. But I need a good entry. But we are getting into this area here. So let me. Oh no, that's not correct. Let me frame the 15-minute here. Should be similar. We should have a fair value gap here. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay, let's see if we can get some downside now. So we're also in a 15-minute IFUG. We are below the midpoint, so that's already telling, right? So the question is, how far up are we going to go, or how far down are we going to go? This looks pretty balanced. I just think it's going to go spike up, to be honest. I don't think we're going to get a retracement. It's so bullish. It's just going to spike up. But look, it's very clear. But the question is, you don't want to you don't want to get in late and get slammed down, right? We've got liquidity here. We've got liquidity here. 781, 40 points. I think that's a good. If we're over the 15-minute IFUG, it might just be a good entry. What time is it? 4:30. Okay. Let's see. Who's in it? Who's in the long? Is anyone in the long? I really want a little bit of a retracement, but okay. So what you can see in the 5-minute, we have consolidation here. So we could expect some consolidation again as well, which is okay. See here, we have consolidation. So we could expect some consolidation here. We're in this. It's a 15-minute, but let me make it. I'm going to make it 5 because the 5 is smaller. Technically, we are over the 5. So I am going back to the 15 now because that gives me more clarity. I think when we get out of the 15 and we retest if you get like a wick out of it and then a retest of that will be fine enough for me. That's also how I sometimes trade like this. If it's kind of like if it goes out of this area here. Now this is also a little bit of breaker, but suppose it just goes out. We've got a body close and one wick into the. That's enough for me to enter. So I don't want to miss the whole. I mean, let me just go to the 1. So a body close out and boom, like a IOFED type of like move. And then we most likely, we're on our way to liquidity. I mean, it is clear it wants liquidity, right? But then again, it's not rejecting of the midnight and of the daily open. Oh, here we go. You have liquidity. Okay. Now let's see where the short is going to go. I want to see how the 4 hour looks now. So let's see if it's. So we've got 1.5 more hour for this 4 hour candle. Now what did it do? It took out the former high, but also it's going to take out. Is this equal or is this did it sweep? Not yet. So I do expect this 4 hour to go into this wick here. Let's see. Let me quickly. I want to see the levels of this one here. And does it line up with anything? Okay, now let's see. Here we go. And Q is keeping me busy today, man. I don't even have time to look at gold. And Q, you're keeping me busy. Okay, now where are we? Here, then we're here, then we're here. 0 0.5, 755. Okay. Difficult area, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. So you see this area, it did not create it did not validate this breaker, but we did encapsulate this 15-minute inversion, right? So now, do we want to? Is this? We actually don't want it to go lower. Maybe that's the reason why my. Hey, what is going on? Now, if it's going to be bullish, we do not want price to go below the midpoint of this inversion. So, we go. Okay. It's a little bit difficult to read now. There's so many gaps and so many. So we took the midnight and the daily open, so definitely it has liquidity taken, right? So it will. It could go further. It could go back down, but is it just going to go further up? We also have this now created here. And we did not take that out at 4:33. So is it going to do it now then? I don't know. Maybe it created that for later today. Could be. So are we just going to make our consolidate a little bit? Go up a little bit more into the, because this the gray box, that is the opening range gap of 2 days ago, which was unfilled for one. It was only 1/3, and yesterday it did not go higher than the one. So the day before yesterday was also 1/3 and a little bit higher, I think. Let me show you again. So this was just, the bodies were just above the 1/3, and yesterday it did not go over the 1/3. So the question is, so this rejected yesterday of these wicks here. Now the question is, are we going to take these wicks now, and are we going to go to the 0.5 level of the opening range gap? Or are we done here because we're already lower? We're going to make another low maybe. Is this another low that we're creating here? Could be that this is another low and then we go down, right? So it's just creating low, lower low, lower low. Go back into the range. It's all possible. Could do anything at once, right? It won't make it easy for us to take any liquidity. I mean, you know, daily open and the midnight. Once it's running, you sort of like either it stops here or it stops there, right? But it just made another. Look, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 highs. Here we got 5. Even here we got even more, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also 5 here. So are we just going to go down now? Well, let's see if we are going to surpass that breaker, because this is the breaker. I guess if we're going to go lower, then it's going to go for this liquidity, right? But if it stays in this breaker, we should mark the breaker because we should know what's going on. I'm going to use the 5-minute one because it's more significant, I guess, a little bit more clear. Yeah. Breaker plus breaker. Sometimes it's really hard work, right? Trading, going back and forth. But you'll see at some point you'll be rewarded once you just, you know, you'll see it and the trade is there. Your setup will form. Then you attack. You have a good trade. And most of the time it's more than 50 points. And then you're done for the day, technically. But sometimes it takes time. It's never meant to be easy, right? But it's fun. Now, you see this wick here? So sometimes what I notice that it just does not need to go lower, even though there's a breaker here. But I don't trust it yet because we're not in a macro as well. The retest, you know, the breaker can form outside a macro, but the retest I really want in a macro. Now, it did form, this candle closed just in the last bit of the macro. But normally you want to retest in the macro, but on days like this, sometimes it doesn't do that. That makes it really hard. So that's why this Thursday is always a little bit difficult for me. NFP Thursday is my most difficult day to trade. So it's good to study it. Okay, let's see. 443. No macro yet, but we could. Well, if I say it doesn't do it in the macro, but if it does it after 4:45, I consider that a macro, right? Because we can extend them 5 minutes. But is there not a macro on the? Let me just check the 3 minute. If the you see the breaker goes higher, you see that? This is technically the breaker on the 3 minutes. So technically, but I need one. Let me see if 1 minute is higher. No, okay, the 3 minute. I'm gonna stick to the 3 minute now. You see why this wick now is actually part of the 3 minute breaker, and it's a little bit wider. So I'm gonna just extend it. Use the max. So technically we did retest it, but 439. Let me go to the 1 minute again. I really want it to be in a little bit later, otherwise I just cannot trust it enough. Just yeah, let me see if there is no well, we're not gonna get SMT because you know what, we're still in this run here. We're still in this run, so this SMT is still valid. It's gonna go. So this one is always difficult for me on days like this. You see, exactly. If you follow the rules, you're gonna miss trades, right? Because it doesn't follow, it doesn't add up. But if you start to know, it's okay, I might have taken a risk here. But then if I do take that risk, I'll be punished because you'll see it just drops down again. Maybe not today, obviously, but when I do it, it will do it. Yeah. But it is a 15-minute fair value IFUG with a breaker, so that is the valid retest, I guess. But it's outside breaker, it's outside macro time. But I guess once it goes over that level, you can just go in. 445, but let's see. I mean, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I might miss the move. We did engulf this. What did I say about time being in a macro? Okay, let's see. 446. Is this the okay? If we're gonna retest the midnight, I consider that an entry. If we go over it and then I want to see a wick through it, that's my market order in. Because now we are in macro time. It's okay for me. Seven 5 7. Yeah, this is a very quick scalp. 7 5 7. There we go. Stop loss is just going to be below midnight. That's it, because I just it's just a very quick scalp. It's not what I usually do, but Just a quick scalp. Okay, my TPs are set and my stuff. I need quickly need to do something. And you see again. Okay. Days like this are always difficult. Hold on. You bloody bastard. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think it's still gonna go there though. 757. Yeah. Just taking a quick scalp. What time is it? 4:50. Yeah, this is my level here, 757. It's just very, I'm not taking too much. I'm just, but if it starts running now, let's see. It's always tricky when it starts consolidating above a level. And like I said, the retest should be a wick through it, not like this actually. This is not really a nice, but again, everything's different on days like this. Just too small. I need to get a little loss back, I guess. Just 10 points. The 3 micros. Yeah. 757. That's it. Now I'll reassess. This is the max. Why? I'm using the wicks because I think it's just using, it's just not really, there's no follow through it. As you can see, right, the big move has already been done. And then it's just sort of like, it took out liquidity here already, but apparently it wants to go a little bit higher. Come on, just give us a wiki. Go to 757. Give us 10 points. You can do that. 12 points. Yeah, once it starts going, it might go higher as well, like I said. Let's have a look on the 1 hour. But I'm just taking it to 7. Why? There's a 50% of this area here. Sort of like we do have a 1 here, 7.6, could go all the way to 7.63, but I'm getting out at 7.57 just on the safe side. Just taking the low-hanging fruit. Yeah, on the 5-minute, you can see it's a beautiful wick, how it just really went into it, right? This was enough, but the time was off, 4:40. So that, you know, normally what that means, if this is off, also the macro doesn't really run as normal, you know, so you can see it already stalling and it doesn't really go, and it might go back into the range. Come on. Hey MJ, how are you doing? How's it going? You see, guys, when I tell you that Thursday is my challenging day, NFP week this Thursday, um, I don't know, it's just my journaling, my stats. So I never touch my live account or my funded on days like this. It is at some point you just, you know, you might miss a few good moves, but I don't know. It's just challenging. Just doesn't do what I want to do, or and again, you know, here we go. Yeah. So, but also I actually said it. The retest of the midnight wasn't. Let me see how it's retesting. I just want to. It did not do it. Like okay, you know, I actually not listening to myself because I did not get. And this one was a retest, but it was to the downside, right? So then you just should stay out. But this is outside macro. So even though you get like a breaker retest, you know, it just does not do. There's no follow through, right? And it might run at some point, but um, let's see. We have SMT. We do have bullish SMT again here, but that might be a false one. Oh, I'm already down $90 in total. So all those little ones add up. So even though they're little, they do add up 3 times. So it's, you know, 3 times $30, but it adds up. So um, I don't like that. So I'm $89 down in drawdown. Well, you know, still good, but on the week. But I'm not touching it anymore. No, until I really have a clear, you know, things need to line up, macro time, setup, things that I look for, and if not, I just have to stay out. And if I every time I do it, and I guess it's FOMOing in a little bit, I get punished because things don't line up, right? Time didn't, yeah, there was a break of reaches, but it was not in the time that I wanted. So that's already a no. But then I don't have my, then I thought, okay, I'm going to use my time. Is it, no, there was not a proper retest because you want to see it over it and then a wick in it, but the body has to be over it if it's bullish. Not like this. You know that. Not following my rules. Um, and I also, you know, and I also said, oh, we've got consolidation here, so what can we expect? Consolidation. So it, you know, logic actually already is there enough to just stay out and just not get involved in this price action because you just, you know, even 3 small cuts, it's just, it still adds up, right? um, but it's manageable. You know, you can get it back with one trade. I'm up again, and I've got that loss. But I'm not going to do another one. Let's have a look at GC quickly. GC. Okay, same thing, just consolidating. And like I said, GC is for me, as long as we're in this bloody area, I just don't want to be, I'm just going to not trade this. No, this box is for me off limits. And Q actually now as well, a little bit. But I don't want to, you know, I do not. So what you can see now, and Q is ranging. So it actually is using one of those, isn't it magic? Look, one of those levels again. It's exactly rejecting that. Now, which one did I use? And it's actually now bouncing between the opening range gap and the end walk. Very interesting. So let me have a look which gradient I used here, because you know that's very. Now what did I use here? Uh, did I use a 4-hour or a 15-minute? The 4-hour wick. Was it? Is it? Yeah. Yes, it's a 4-hour, but it's not exact. You need to be exact. So the 4-hour did not really bounce off it. There was no 1-hour wick, was there? No. Oh, what about this wick here? This one's more applicable. I guess this one was it. Okay. So the 1-hour this wick here. 752. Okay, now we're going. Okay, it just needed more. Okay, we're in a macro. Now it's 5 o'clock. Now it should be, hold on. No, you're not entering. You're staying out. Got 3 losses. You're done for London session. Missy? Yes. I'm listening to myself. 5 o'clock. We tapped in to this level here. Now let's see if we can make it up to one higher level. But this is a price action for this kind of day. It goes back and forth, back and forth. That's why I'm always struggling on it today. This might be my last trade that I put my evaluation on. The rest of the day might just be paper trades. I might just give some, because I do take them very seriously. If I paper trade, I journal them and I do reverse engineer them and stuff like that. So I do learn from them. So that's why I do like to paper trade. So I always learn from them, and especially when I have a losing trade, I really reverse engineer things, and that's why I really, you know, learn from them. Like I took a loss now, and then I really try to figure out, okay, what did I miss, and blah blah blah, and that's where the growth is, I guess, right? But you have to like that, I think, to do that. You have to have the time to do that as well. Now, what did I say about retest of time? This is the settlement price. I like this. This is up close candle. Time is above it. I'm not going to take it because I have 3 losses. I use my bullets. That's my punishment for myself. But you see this wick goes through it. That's for me a valid retest of time. We're in a macro, so now I'm like, okay, let's see if it does the same with a higher level, because we've got 2 now, and let's see if it does an up close candle with a wick going through it. So the body needs to go up below it, and then a wick, and then we need a close above it. Then it's a valid for me for the upside. Because we could go back down here, right? Because technically we're just sort of like, it is sort of like a no man's land now. Now we have a retest in a macro on to the downside, right? So this is now, okay, for me, confusing. Is it going up? Is it going down? Now daily open and midnight together should have a little bit more value. But I think we're going to the upside looking at the structure, right? But then again, we are in this area here. It looks like we have, you know, we've got liquidity taken. we could go down as well. So we can frame it both sides. But here we went into a fair value gap. But here we also were we're also in a fair value gap. So you're in two fair value gaps. You've got 2 wicks on each side on the 15-minute. That means no touchy zone for me. But it looks like there's more room to the downside now, right? We need to get. I would be more, if gun to my head, I would be more bearish. But hey, like I said, don't listen to me on Thursday, first week of NFP. Yeah, literally, that's the. I think that's literally the only day that I really do. I don't. It's really weird, but it was so clear on my stats. I should have a T-shirt made. I'm gonna make 2 T-shirts. One I love Wix, and one don't listen to me on NFP Tuesday. Thursday. Disregard everything what I say. Hey, NJ, yeah, no, it's hard. Well, it's NFP Thursday. That's my hardest day always. It's a lot of consolidation. Well, no, well, there has been a nice move, but it's very wicky. It goes back and forth, and it's hard to, for me, it's hard to read. And now there's no SMT. We're not retesting anything. So it's not easy, in all honesty. So you haven't missed much. I had 3 L's already, so I'm down 9. It's all small losses, but there are 3 of them, so they're about $90 now. And you know, it's just I just disregard my own. No, I don't have any proper. My setup is not there. My time doesn't line up, and I still try it, and every time I get punished. So and again, we are. I mean, it's to be expected if you look at the time frame we're in right now. To the left, we have consolidation, so we can expect it now as well a little bit. So here we go, consolidation. We go a little bit up, consolidation. It is and on the 15-minute the same, right? Consolidation. We go up a little higher, consolidation, and either we go a little bit lower or higher again. So it is what it is. 5 past 5. Let's see, what should I do? I'm thinking either I just go on until pre-market a little bit in the morning, or I stop the stream and get back on a little bit later. Let me think. Well, the weather is not beach weather. I don't want to walk. I normally go to the beach and have a nice walk, but it's rainy now. I think I'll just continue the stream. I might take a little break and leave the stream running if that's okay. I want to get a coffee. I think, and I don't have to kill the stream and start a new one. If I just leave it running, get a coffee and a little snack, would that be okay, guys? Then I'll just keep going, I guess. Because I do think we're going to get a nice move to the downside. So MJ, something I do want to point out this morning, what happened, and which is valuable information for later on. Looky here. We created in macro time, you see a lot of equal lows here, around 321, 333-ish, and they are equal to, let me show you, well, they're not equal, but they are higher than this low from Asia and this low from yesterday. So we've got now liquidity here, liquidity here, liquidity here. Now I wouldn't be surprised if we get one more reaction here in this little area before we go take this out. So it might be tricky, this area before we go down, but this is an interesting area now for later on. I do think for today or maybe tomorrow. But then again, yesterday, what did we see? We created this high, which is lower than this high. So we've got 2 interesting areas. We got to the top, and this is the 0.5 from opening range gap from yesterday, right? We didn't fill it until 1/3 level. So if we go higher, we could definitely take it out to 0.5 here, and we have a midnight here as well, totally unmitigated. So we do expect a retest here, maybe run into the 0.5 and go down again, or retrace either, or fully reverse, or we've got the weekly open here. So I've got my eyes on this area, I've got my eyes on this area, and this just F's around with me, I guess. So either I wait for one of them to be taken out and take it to the other side, or I wait for a proper, I mean, at some point on a day like this, you do get a proper entry. It does provide, but you just have to wait for it a little bit longer, I guess, right? Then you can go. But yeah, so that forming of those equals here is the only significant thing. We do have a breaker formed here. We retested it, but outside macro time here. So that's why price action is being shitty. It's always the same. And guys, I fall for it every time. I fall for it. I'm like, and I did say, oh, it's outside breaker. It's outside macro time. And look what happened, right? You get in. I got in because I saw this happen, but it was not a normal time. You want your breaker retest in a macro. It doesn't matter if it forms it out of macro, but your retest needs to be in macro time or just before it, like 46, 47, 48, maybe even 44 could be fine. But no, I don't think so. It should be, no, because this is what time? 40, yeah. And you see, it does go up a little bit, but it just takes out this liquidity. It just barely moves. And then it just futs around. So, and you know, I already said it. Consolidation here, and I fall for it again. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's FOMO, a little bit. I guess so, right? It still gets you sometimes. It still gets you. You can make videos about it, you can read about it, but you still fall victim to it sometimes. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And we have to keep an eye on SMT here. So the moment we get SMT on the upside, we have to be, but I don't think we're going to get, I think it's just, I do think we might, this is such a beautiful SMT here at 330, really signifying the move to the upside, right? 330 was the start. I did not see this on time. I don't know. I think sometimes the SMT is delayed or something. I don't know. Or maybe I just didn't look. Could be. Anyway. Yeah, well, I hope New York will not be manipulated as much, but I know on the Thursday of the NFP week, I've always been struggling because so I don't even think that New York, then if London is manipulated, it doesn't always mean that New York might not be as manipulated. But yeah, this is my hardest day always. And even though we have no, you know, the government is shut down and the news is not there, but it seems to be similar. Like I already have 3 L's in the morning. I mean, that doesn't happen a lot to me, that I get 3 L's in a row. I mean, obviously I have L's, but not 3 in a row. And I'm like, okay. It is that day of the month. And this one is fixed, yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna get a coffee, guys. I'm gonna leave the stream running. Yeah, so I'll be back in a few minutes. I need to go downstairs, and I need a refill, and we'll just keep. I mean, there's nothing else for me to do, and I like tape reading, and I like it for me also because it's challenging for me. You know, that's how I learn. That's how you learn. And I want to learn. I want to get better in scalping as well. So finding smaller ranges and taking scalps. So that's something I'm working on. There's a daily FEG. Am I taking then reverse for bearish or take yesterday low then close upside daily for bullish scenario? Is there any news today? No, MJ, there is no news today. I checked. Normally on Thursday we do have news. But hey, yeah, your scenario is one of the scenarios that I was looking at as well. And I didn't see that, but let me check because you know those the levels that we took yesterday, we created. Let me see if that daily fair value gap is in that area. Let me go to that. Hold on. You see these areas here? So this is the opening range gap of 2 days ago, and we only tapped into 1/3 here. Now I want to see where that daily fair value gap is, where you talk. If that's just slightly above this area, I didn't see that yet. I didn't look. I didn't combine that info. Let me do that. Is that my internet? There's something wrong with the internet today. Come on. Oh yeah, that was the daily. I wanted that to form yesterday. I did say that. Yeah. Exactly here. Yeah. Okay. Just forget the all the rubbish on it, but I need to. I need to. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's exactly. I like that. I like it that cause. I'll go back to the perfect. That is perfect. There's a lot of information here. Sorry, guys. You see that daily fair value gap is exactly the midpoint of that daily fair value gap is also the midpoint of that opening range gap. You see that? So I love when I see things like that happening. So definitely, like I said, if we go up for here, we might go up to the midpoint of the opening range gap, which also happens to line up with the daily midpoint. So, but when you see one of these, we normally it also lines up with the two other points. So I do think we might reject from before it goes into it. We might not go into it straight away. So that's also something to expect, right? Also, beginnings of fair value gaps are liquidity points, not only the midpoint, but also the start and the end. So this point here, before we take it, is also a point. And you see it lines up exactly with a level that I already marked here. So thank you, MJ, for pointing out the daily fair value gap. So now I have an extra confluence to the zero point 0.5. So for me now, that level is becoming more and more important. I'm going to take out the gray box because we've got the levels now, and I would rather have the daily fair value gap on it. I've got the gradients on. I just want to keep it a little bit more clean. Otherwise, I'm going to get complaints from you guys, which are valid, which are very valid. So one of the first things people said to me, clean up your bloody charts. Yes, I will. I listen. It makes me a better trader listening to the community. Okay, I'm gonna get my coffee quickly. I'll be right back, guys. Oh, and I'm gonna put on something warmer as well. Oh, time to get some coffee. There we go. I'm back. Here we go. Okay, got my coffee. I had to make a phone call quickly. So, everything's sorted. What's happening? Did you go up? Oh, 7.5. Did you go to my level? 757? You, yes. That was the level I was targeting. But it's going higher anyway. What time is it? 5:25. Okay. That always happens, right? That always happens when you're gone. Then the move. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay not to be in it. But it just made exactly that move that I was aiming. That I tried to stab at 2 times. But you're always too early, right? Um, let's see. I'm just gonna wait for it. I really want to have a nice, like a 5 hour trade, and I'm just gonna wait for it now. I don't care. Um, so I'm most likely up to. Yeah. So MJ, yeah, you're bearish, and I'm with you. I think. The move up is already in motion, right? And I also think that we might, but then again, we still have quite a bit of room to the upside. So I'm wondering it's going to stall all day, and you know. MJ, by the way, did you take any of that move to the upside yesterday? I actually had a few good trades afterwards. When we had the move, it was quite clear for me at some point. Okay, it's going to be an extended day to the upside, but um, and it gave some good opportunities. But it's always like it's very fickle. Okay, well, let's see. 527, 526, 526, 526. Oh my God, I have four. Oh my God, I have 4 other subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. I'm so humbled by you guys. With all the internet issues today, no bad trades, losses. It's you guys that make my day again. That's why I like being on. Even though the trading is bad for me always on this day, I really enjoy just hanging out and just tape reading and obviously going over the charts. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm very appreciative. Well, but back to NQ, because NQ, we're gonna get this one. I mean, at some point. Um, it sort of sucks, but look at this, how difficult it is to read, right? But then again, I'm going to look. I'm going to go more into that, the retest outside macro things, and how you can still get those trades and get in at the proper entries, with a good risk reward. Like for example, this one. Well, you have to sit through this. And I've got stopped out twice here. But then again, if you have a proper entry, I don't know why I got stopped out. If I look at it, it's actually really stupid, right? Because I never should have gone below the risk of this wick, right? So it's something I need to look into. Because it's actually, if you look at it, you've got a 15-minute IFUG. It's taking the liquidity now. Well, the next point of liquidity is these two here. So 877. Let's see again. Let's mark the new breaker. So we did get a retest of this breaker here, and it was also in this 15-minute inversion. The only thing was it was outside macro, we had consolidation, but then again it was expected. So maybe that's the clue here. Retest, time distortion, and what time did we start running? Let me go to the 1 minute. And again, like I said, retest of time as well, or these levels, like this settlement price. This was also a retest 501. I want a wick, I want a body close, and the wick needs to go through it. 501 was that gave it, right? Now it didn't do it at this point here, but we do have a body close. This will be confusing for me, but this was a good one here, 501 in a macro. And it's also breaker retest here, right? Look at this one here. You've got your breaker in the 437. When did it? 445. That's okay. And here you have the retest. I didn't see that one, by the way. I missed that. Here you go. This little area here on this price. What time is it now? 5:30. Yeah. So this was this area at 5 o'clock here. This wick. Very important one. I'm going to keep this on my chart because I need to journal this one. So this is outside macro, this is inside macro. Now where are we going? Liquidity here. So now we're entering in this 15-minute. Once we take this liquidity here, I do think we're going to go back to this yellow line here, 791. Why? It's being used all the time, and it's a volume imbalance, and volume imbalance are a lot of the times are referred back to all the time. And what I like to see here is that the wick went through it. Now I expect the wick not to go through it fully. Let's see. And it's in a fair value gap here. So we're going to take out this liquidity. Yeah, this is very bullish. I think we're going to run up to 40-ish. This is just a time-based trade. I mean, if you want to enter, I think you're good too. The 20 to 40, and we didn't start running until 24. So it's a good. I think this isn't a good trade up to here. I'm just going to wait for a turn for him, but yeah, this will be taken. But SMT is the only way forward, guys. I mean, you cannot trade without SMT. But this was the key again. Just kind of SMT here. You've got SMT here again. This was the 5 o'clock SMT, right? With that wick that when you see this here, and then you have this as a confirmation. No trades without SMT. No trade. Yeah, I'm saying it good. I'm saying it well. Okay. Okay, we're taking the liquidity now. It's 5:33. Let's see what happens. You shorted after 3:32 close, past 2 eval apex and blew 1 during Trump's speech. Okay, well, so I shorted after 3:32 close. Well, I think you're doing pretty well, MJ. I think how many did you pass this week? I mean, I remember one more, but these are so you're up 3 past evaluations, and do you have more, or is it are you limited? I mean, this is really I haven't passed anything this week, to be honest, but that's okay. Okie dokie now. Let's see. So 5:33. It's 5:35 now. I don't think you know what it will do now because the run is not. It took this out here. It doesn't need that much more length to so it's going to stall a little bit. But I do think we might hit this yellow line again. I wouldn't be surprised if that would be the case. And then it gets interesting. We'll get a nice retracement, and look, there's so much more to go. I mean, I am looking at this area here and this like well I said if we're going higher we're going to go to 0.5, which is also the midpoint of the daily fair value gap, so we've got an extra confluence, but we want a solid retracement. I will get it because we are sitting here through pre-market, and if we don't get it in pre-market, we'll get it in the New York AM session. We're almost there anyway. I'm going to get that one. I'm going to get one good trade. Yesterday I got that good trade also after the AM session. So you know, it makes sense why it was so hard to trade. Look at this. We're actually in a range, right? We just broke out of the range. If you look at it now, I'm looking at it from a up, down. So it's technically we're in a. It's sort of like almost, yeah. So that explains it why I'm struggling, because there's no clear AMD for me. So now some people might say this is the accumulation manipulation, but I don't think so. I think this is the manipulation move. So I think we're going to get a distribution move to the maybe to the downside even. I don't know. See, it's hard to read. It's not really like what is the, because we're still in this. If you look at this technically, we just went out of the range, so it's still not even a manipulation move. We're still in this higher time frame. If you look at the 15-minute. That's why I'm staying out of that gold. So this is exactly the same issue, right? So this is actually a range we're in. Yes, it may goes up and down, but technically you're not. There is no manipulation. We're not taking out liquidity technically. This doesn't take out liquidity. We're just taking internal liquidity. But again, it doesn't take liquidity on the outside of the range, right? So this range is still intact. And this range was formed yesterday. And actually, I try not to trade in a, well, obviously, yes, I do try to trade in a range, but you want to have liquidity taken out on a range. And then, you know, you have your properly formed breaker and stuff like that. Because it makes sense that this breaker is not really doing the thing that we expect it to do, even though it does it here outside macro, but there was no liquidity sweep. No, not the one. Yeah, this one, but we want this one to be swept, right? And then you want your move. So the question is, are we going to go all the way up? Or are we going to take this? It's just sort of like 50-50. But we did take liquidity now. With this little wick here, we did take out this liquidity. So that raises the question: are we going to go to the opposite side now? This is the range. This is the range. Yesterday's range. Or Asia's range, I should say. So we took Asia here. Now, are we going to go all the way? But is there a body close over it? No, there's no body close, only a wick, right? See that? For continuation, we want a body close. So there's no, this is not an activated breaker, but and this could be, so maybe, let me see. This is always hard when you have these. Did we go into this level here? Yes. Is this equal or did we go into it? Yeah, we went into it already. Okay. This is balanced now. You love macro close time. But it's hard to pass other follow. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I think it's good when you manage to understand the market on close elbow because it's a crazy one. But if you understand it, it's the moves are violent and they're big, so it's easy to pass. But you need to understand the order flow, right? But if you manage to do that, that's why I don't mind doing also the. I like the lunch PM session as well because people say there's no opportunities in lunch. I really don't agree with that as well because a lot of the times the good moves are during lunchtime, and if not, they come quickly after that as well. I think that every market is obviously Asia's most of the times a little bit slower, but I think there's a lot of opportunity in PM session. I love PM. I mean, I love PM session as well, and I try to stay away from the crazy, but sometimes I really see it very clear that it leaves certain levels, and then I'm like, okay, I know what the crazy elbow is going to do. I put the crazy elbow, and sometimes I play it as well, but I really need to see it very properly. That okay, now I see, we left some unfinished business, and sometimes it's very clear, and then I play it as well. But I don't play after 4 a.m. I don't do that. But hey, the crazy elbow gives a lot of, it can give a good opportunity, but you really need to study it a little bit. And when you do that, it's a lot of, well, I mean, MJ is passing evaluations like crazy. So, that's pretty awesome. If you manage that, It's just that MJ, you see the logic in the, you happen just to see, observe the market on close and understand how the algo books. So once you understand that part of the algo, because the algo at the market on close, especially the last 15 minutes, is a little bit different. But you can sometimes you can really see, okay, oh, yeah, we're going to get two swings to one side and both sides. You start seeing like, okay, what is the market has been doing, and then if you can expect both, you wait for one and you take the other one, right, to the other side. So, but yeah, if we, I'll do more market on close as well, and yeah, I love to study the algo and go into the nitty gritty of it. So hey, listen, it's such a, I think you'll never be done learning the algo. So they'll always be smarter than you, but it's just the challenging thing that I like is just finding more and more little signatures that help me identify the movements and stuff like that. And if I'm wrong, hey, I don't really get upset. It just gives me more motivation to dive deeper into the journaling and going over the levels and seeing that. Like for example, now I'm really like, okay, this is a new. I mean, I'm really not okay. What are you going to do? Are you going to go back to the downside? And for me, also when I journal this, it's like what time, how long did it take, for example, to get out of the range, and what happened, and when is it going to take out the lower levels now? Is it going to be AM session? I don't think we're going to do it now. So that really interests me. Like, okay, how does it? And at some point, you start seeing and if you look long enough at it and you start really dive deeper into it, you'll see logic and you start understanding how time behaves. And you always learn from other people, because some people look at the specific thing. The 369 is a thing. People make fun of Frank, but it's really a thing. This guy figured it out. He really did. So, well, but if you understand the time side, you're okay to wait because you know that it's coming, right? You just need more patience. And that's the key. If you understand what's happening and you're like, okay, you know what? Like I'm okay to miss a move like that, because lately, with the knowledge that I have, and even though that knowledge is not that much yet compared to really experienced ICT traders or really people that have, it's enough for me already to know, okay, you know what? I know that with this happening, the if then, I understand enough now to know that I just have to wait a little bit longer, maybe one or two macros, and then it will happen. Yesterday, London trade was a good example. I thought it was a 5-hour trade. It was a 3-hour trade, by the way. But it was a beautiful trade. It was a breaker reaches, and I just took it to exactly the point where it reversed. And I called it low-hanging fruit because I thought, okay, it could do this there. It could go higher. I do think it goes higher, and it did go higher later in the day. But that trade was exactly to the point where it reversed, and that was where, you know, and when you start seeing that, it's so awesome that you can really de-risk your trades by taking those low-hanging fruits, because you are sort of like, you don't know it 100%, but you know there's a possibility, right? Because in your journals it happened like more than once. And while I was journaling this morning, I was like, oh my god, look at that. And that is where I see my growth. And sometimes you do things and you can't really, you don't have it like technically already that you can tell it in a storyline, or give it like as a structural trade yet, but you start seeing things, and then comes the next phase, that's like making it a model, or getting it more like structured. But it starts with seeing things and starting acting upon them, and that's where I see a lot of growth on myself, and that gives me patience. That helps me getting more patient, because I'm not a patient person. I'm not patient. And sometimes you'll see that in a trade or in a short, especially when I make a short. I always add a little pain. Oh, I'm getting so impatient. It's sort of like a joke I make with myself. Sort of like, there you go again. You look stupid on stream. I always add it. It's sort of like, I'm making fun of myself. Like, oh, I hate sitting in consolidation. And then I look at myself, really? Do you need to say that every time on stream? I added in the last short as well. And I always look very weird when I say that. I look sort of like, I get not angry, but it's sort of like So you'll see when you see me add that in a stream or in a short, it is because I'm making fun of myself. It's like remind myself that, you know, it's part of trading, you know that. I hate sitting in consolidation. Yes, you know it's the next macro, so what's going to happen in between? Consolidation, baby. When you get in a trade at 3:30, you say it literally on stream. Yes, we have to wait for the 3:54.10 macro. What's going to happen in that time? What's the algo going to do? It's going to consolidate in between, right? Before it makes the move. Duh. At least you have a good entry. Yeah. But anyway. Hey MJ, I'll see you later. Yeah. Have a good one. In the meantime, we will have a nice look at gold as well. I'm going to see if I can frame some different levels which will guide us to the upside, because I do think this area is very valid for later on, but I really want to see it tap into this little yellow line. GC, what are you doing? Oh, this is not GC. GC went over here. Oh, guys, before I forget, I need to put on the TGIF because it's Thursday already. Yes, I knew I was forgetting something. So what are we going to do here? I'm going to go to the weekly. Actually, there's a new free indicator from 9. I want to use that. Let me see if we can get. I want to plot that on my chart. Let me see where that is. Where did I put that one? Where are you? What did I do with you? Where did I store you? Okay, I'll get it. I can get it from indicators. Here we go. So TGIF. Why do you look at it on Thursday already? Because TGIF can happen on Thursday already. So let's have a look at the weekly ranges. It's a good time to look into it. So what does the TGIF do? Well, they don't plot the 40%. I do want the 40%. It is very important. Let me see if I can to put that on. I need. Oh, they don't use the 40%. That's interesting. That's actually a very important line. They have left that out. Enable weekly high low. I want that. I want it red. I want dotted. No, I'll leave it dashed. Let's make it another color. Enable level. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about it is that we're missing the 40%, but that's okay. That's a very important level. Okay, so let's go to the 4-hour here on this one. Oh, it's not plotting it? Are you kidding me? It's a free indicator. Okay, on the 1-hour it is. Okay. So on the weekly candle, it says this. plot automatically how much we are retracing already. So we are now 20, 30, 50, 60. So we're already over 50% of the, we're almost at the, we're now at the 50% range of the weekly candle of Nasdaq. Now, what I normally do, let me show you guys. I'm gonna put off the annuals a little bit because this is interesting because I've discovered a few things with the TGIF, which is very interesting. I'm gonna get rid of everything and I want to mark new ones because I want to look into it. Let me get to the daily. Okay, now where did Monday start? Monday started here, right? Oh, and look at this. We've got a flat bottom, flat top candle here with the wick. So this is really a, that's a magnet. So the weekly range, TGIF range, is from, current range is from here. We've got a low here to here. Now he plots it as a bearish candle, so we retrace back into the bearish range, right? But I'm thinking that if we go higher, we might have to use, I call it inverted TGIF. I don't know if ICT, I don't think he ever, I think it's something that I just made up. But it really works when you have a situation like this. TGIF, here we go. Now we're going back to the 4 hour, 1 hour. Let's do it because it doesn't plot. Now, what's interesting to see is that if you plot it from the origin, because we have a down close candle, right, and we're going back into the range now on Thursday. So we are now going back up, but we already exceeded. If you do the from the downside to the upside, we're already 50%. But if you do it from the upside to the downside, this is the 20, 30, 40. The moment you exceed 40% from this side here, I always switch to the, I invert it, and then I'm using these levels. But what can happen is very interesting. On a day like this, if we're going higher, you will see that price could start consolidating within those TGIF levels already. So I'm keeping this on my chart, and as you can see here already, like the 50% is exactly the same as the the inverted 0.4, right? And you'll definitely get a reaction here. But once it goes in, I wonder if we are going to go over this level here. Just saying. We'll have a look because and look where that is, where that level is. It's exactly near the 0.5 level of that daily fair value gap. So for me, already looking, taking the TGIF levels, because I know that if we are, especially if we're inverting, which I call my invert TGIF, don't expect too much extension over this level. But then again, it happens to be exactly the level that we spoke about, right? 0.5 of the daily fair value gap and 0.5 of that opening range gap, which is still unfilled. Now, if we get a proper TGIF tomorrow, what could happen is that, like say today, if we would make the high here today, we don't extend the TGIF, but we make the high. And then tomorrow, we go over that high. Then we could get a proper TGIF, because then you have to extend the range, right? Because now this is the range we're working in. But a proper TGIF means that you have a high and you take out that high. So let's say we make a new high, which might be here. We don't fill that whole new opening range, the yesterday's opening range gap. We're going to get a new opening range gap obviously today, but it's going to be smaller and smaller. Where did we open? We're here now, right? Okay, the moment we are going higher, okay, it's going to be in this range here. It might be in this TGIF. Maybe it's going to be in this area here. Where are we? Here. Okay, it's going to be in this area. Well, we'll see. I mean, so I don't think we're going to go much higher than this, and it makes sense. But we'll see. I mean, it could still go up all the way, but it needs to leave something for tomorrow, right? How many points is this? 938. Okay, so that's still okay. Well, we'll see. But I'm just going to leave it on because you'll see it's very funny that again, even though this is 50% from the other way around, it's still. Well, how is it 50% from that way and 40% from that way? It doesn't make sense. Shouldn't it be 50% on either way? 50% is 50% of a range, right? Doesn't matter what direction you calculate it from. Am I doing something wrong? Or are they wrong? Does Monday start here? Oh, this is Monday. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I did something wrong. Duh, I did something wrong. Here we go. My mistake. This is the Monday candle. I did. Oh, that's even more interesting because then we could definitely get a wick here. Okay. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This makes sense. 60 is now 40, obviously. Yes, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so let's see what happens. So we bounced off the 0. So that's why I always use the 0.4. Why? Well, where did we bounce off from here? Wednesday, 0.4 of that range, right? You see that a lot. The 0.4 is a very much used level on the TGIF. So I don't like this indicator because it lacks the 0.4, the 40%. And I use it a lot on Thursday and Friday. So last week on TGIF, what happened was very interesting. We had the monthly close on a Friday, and we had the weekly close, obviously. But TGIF does not only have to be on the weekly candle. It's just like the retracement of any candle, right? It's just OHLC, open, high, low, close, or the other way around. And it's just how power of 3 works. You have the open, you have manipulation to the upward downside, then you have the body, the distribution, and then you have the low, and then you have again the retracement to it. And obviously not every candle does it, but there's always a retracement, or sometimes you have a flat candle we call devil's mark, which is a lack of manipulation, and they will have belated manipulation. Like you can see it exactly on my screen here. You see where the 10 o'clock is? I love those candles. I go wild for those. What are you looking? Oh, you can't see that. Hold on, let me go back. Look here. You see this flat candle here? What happened here? You just have a wick to it, and you can expect that. So if you see a candle like this, and you have this area here, you expect it. I was expecting this. Why? Because of this flat candle here. I knew that there was no body coming over this because this is a lack of manipulation. It just wants manipulation, so it just wants a little wick. And when you have a wick next to it, which is a rejection block, then it's one of the most powerful algorithmic signatures. I knew it would turn here. I didn't know it would be a full reversal, but I knew we'd get a strong reaction. Why? Because of this combination, plus time, 10 o'clock, and plus it was a 1/3 level here. So when you see this, you should get very excited, because you know what's going to happen. You can predict things. You really can. So mark that, guys. I already told that a few times here, but it's cool. I think that's really gold. Devil's mark with a rejection block. One of the strongest things you can have, you can play around. And the higher time frame you see them, the more valuable they become. It's you can literally predict if you have like a large movement. If you see it on the 4 hour, for example, a little bit down to the downside. If there's a large on FOMC weeks and there's a large manipulation, guess where they go? They'll go in that area. So that's how you sometimes really can predict price. But anyway, enough about that. Now I lost my train of thought. What was it? I wanted to just go into the TGIF levels. Okay, so we have them here. The 40%. Oh, yeah, I noticed that. So, you know, even though I did not put the TGIF levels on, but it's exactly, I noticed that this is the 40%, right? The bottom, but it's also this level here. So all these things they add, you know, they're all confluences, and those 40%, start using the TGIF levels on Thursday, because you'll see a lot happening. You'll see a lot. Oh, it's really bouncing now between the 20, 30, and 40%. So I'm expecting that to happen as well today, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I do believe with the inverted TGIF is in play today. But we'll see. I do believe we're going to go into this level here, and now the midpoint is okay. The midpoint is exactly almost the midpoint of between the 30 and 40%. But we'll just have to see. We will just have to see. Again, the top is where the weekly open. Okay. So I'm just thinking about, you know, tomorrow if we have are we going to take out the high again and do it, then we get a nice retracement. That would be pretty awesome, because we have, look at all this engineered liquidity. Look at the 1 hour. This is all engineered liquidity. This is not normal liquidity. It's all engineered. Equal. Well, we don't have equals here, but we do have equals here, right? But they need to leave something for tomorrow, right? Or maybe we're going to get everything today. I have no idea. We'll see. We just have to see, and we're just going to monitor these levels. I just love doing these things, guys. It's, for me, it's like I feel like a private detective. Looking at all these things, and then, you know, and things, when you start seeing things and you start journaling them, and you start like, and you have these aha moments. That is so much fun, really. And it's addictive, because once you start knowing it's all manipulated, it's all an algo, and you just need to find the algorithmic signatures. And the more you find, the better you get in trading, right? The more chances you have in profitable, in having good, larger distribution trades. So I guess you're rewarded for the time you put in. Like, okay, so this isn't really flat here. We have a little wick here, but yeah, this is also a very interesting area here. We really have to monitor that. But it's already 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. Now, using the 40% level, would it help you if you already see this happen, right? So you see this here, and look at how this bodies and this is lower, and now we are using the 50% of the weekly range, right? Exactly the same thing. You can see exactly almost the same thing happen. We have a wick rejection through it, and again we are sort of like, so we shouldn't be bullish until we are above this 50% level, right? And we're going to be bearish we're going to use those as levels as well. So I'm going to leave all those other levels now because I think now my TGIF levels are in play. They are, I think I can trust on them now on Thursday and Friday to use them. I might add some other if we start moving around again. But look, it's just, I mean, don't you think it's amazing how exact it is, right? And then here at the 50%, we're doing the same. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. The only thing I want to add is the 40% here. But maybe I should just leave it because it's just a midpoint. It's easy to frame. I guess it's just a midpoint between these two, right? I'll just add it manually. Oh, okay. Just do the half. Where's the Paul? Where are you? So we're just going to wait from 0 if we're above this line, take it to here. But are we going to get a retracement? I think we should get like, it would be nice if we just have a proper retracement into finally in this area now, the area that we were waiting for. We did have a, can we go below this level here? Is it possible? Let's go to the 5. I'm just consolidating. We don't have to. Okay, are you going down now? That's nice. We want to see that, right? Hey, SAR Trader. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I just love doing it. Um, it's not been easy London so far, but I think it also just helps, hanging out together and just going over analysis and not trade and just, try to understand the algo, what it's doing, what's happening. So, and thank you for hanging out. And I like sharing some stuff like, this is always a good time to go over things that you feel like sharing, like things that I figured out during my analysis or my journaling, like those little, I think that's a little gem, right? Those devil's marks with the wick next to them. And the TGIF levels, how I use them. Oh, I remember what I was telling you guys. So I wanted to tell you, so there was a monthly, so we had the monthly candle on Friday and we had the weekly. So that's actually very, very nice because you can go into the chart and use the TGIF levels on the monthly and on the weekly. But it was a really, really weird week. What happened? The monthly, it went into what was it, the 40% of the weekly, and it went out back into it, but then it went to the upside and then it just tapped into the or it was the monthly or the weekly, just tapped into the 40% of the weekly or the monthly, just the one of the opposite side. So you could really tell that it did not go into the range on both, but it just used it bounced around the two levels of both. So go into Friday and go to the weekly and the monthly levels and look where price and what it was doing on Friday. And if you use those levels, you can actually frame your trade, so you can understand what it's doing. So it didn't go into both ranges. It just sort of like tapped into it and then it moved back to the other area. But it still used those TGIF levels on both monthly and the weekly, but not in the sense that how we've been taught to use them. But hey, you can use them in a different way without having a TGIF. So, but I guess it sort of like aligns a little bit with what ICT has taught us with the premium and discount weeks. I'm sure there is a if you use specific wicks, you'll see similar lines as well. But I think this is just easier to use on Thursday and Friday because you want to be aware of how the weekly candle is forming, right, or how it's developing. And if we have and if we're going to consolidate again, so if it touches here, you most likely you can expect consolidation in between the two of them. So we'll see. Maybe we can show on stream if it happens. I will give some insight, especially on days like this. I mean, I need to make these days easier for me. NFP Thursday. Don't listen to me on NFP Thursday. I mean, don't listen to trades that I take. Where are my first presented fair value gaps, by the way? I'm just thinking about that. Where are my first presented fair value gaps? See, this is so weird. No, 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 no. Why does it always go off? See, I was thinking I'm missing something on my screen. Here we go. So the first presented fair value gaps, I use them for all sessions, right? Not only the first presented at 9:30, but also the first presented of Asia, the first presented of midnight, and the first presented of London. Now, what do we see here? Nothing is retested. Nothing is retested at all. Here as well, the London has not been retested. This is the one that formed at 3 o'clock. The first one after 3 o'clock. The only retest that we got is the one here thing at 4:41, right? Which was not in any macro time. It's actually at the end of the 3:20 to 40 run that could be possibly seen as a macro time sometimes. Yeah, the only thing that was really a retest was this 4 o'clock here at 2:04. And then we had another one here at 5. You see those little ones here? 5:01. That was a retest of the settlement price. So, and why that could have been used? Why? Because you still have S&T right here, and you're still in this S&T. There's no S&T to the downside. This one was the S&T at 5, and then this one came later than the 4 o'clock, obviously, but still valid. See, the 4 gave a nice distribution move here. Boom. Beautiful. I guess we overlap this with. But here at 5:30 there is S&T to the downside with NQ, right? Here. I didn't actually see that one. See, that is something I really, really need to, especially around 10 o'clock. That one is very important to me because I trade the 4-hour. 10 o'clock's my favorite time. You know, every time when I don't, um, when I go do stuff and that I'm waiting for a trade, it happens around this time, right? This is like the pre-market time. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. Then now nothing happens, right? And I think, you know what? I'm just gonna sit and wait for the trade to play out. But you have to be okay with the being patient. We are. I'm gonna find out why I don't get any why I am not getting any messages for the subscription. Because I want to thank you guys when I hear it. Check what's going on. Let me check what's going on. Okay, let's see now. I'm just going to focus on NQ for now. Let's see if we can frame a good trade. See, there's still no retest. It's just sort of like, I still do believe that we are going to go higher. I mean, that's sort of like, I think we're going to, we took out this, you know, so we took out this liquidity, but we didn't go down, right? We just sort of like consolidated here. So, hey, next move up. But I need a breaker. I need a retest of something properly. I cannot just enter. And time needs to align as well. Okay, let me check something else. Next level is this also does not really line up. No, 25, 19. Okay, we'll stick to that. 790. What do we have there? Okay, let's go. Okay, let's see if we can take a trade to 790. So I'm in drawdown for 90 bucks now. I do think 790. Oh, that's again this level here. Yeah. 721. I think it's just gonna run. 621 to 640. 670. It's 20 points. Are we gonna run? Okay, I'm gonna take a little scalp. I can do that. This one micro. So this is a trade. Just up to here to this line, 790. This is a little volume imbalance that I marked quite a while, and it's been reused. I've been using it quite a bit, and it matches with another confluence that I calculated. So sort of like so why do I consider this a macro? It's not really a macro in the sense, but it's the 20 to 40 does sometimes run. Now, if I do look at this 50%, what I don't like is that we have a gap here and we just went into this gap, so we might go down again. You see that? So it's also how you look at price. Okay, we went all the way back up, so it might not run yet. So it might go in the next macro. The macro meaning the 52,710. Where did my half go? See, it's forming beautiful trend line liquidity here, right? It's nice, beautiful down more. I'm out already. Stopped out. Um, See, it never works for me if I do it like that. I need my very good trades. Need to wait. See how beautiful this is? You want to see most of the times 3 of them at least, and then oh, at least my hair is dry now. I saw it this morning. It was very chaotic. I lost my internet. I still had wet hair because I didn't have time to dry my hair. And now I'm just, everything is, we're in the charts, reading, tape reading, waiting, and just waiting for a good move. What else? It's Thursday. Weekly pro. Let's have a look at the weekly profiles. Maybe that's something I should do. Let's check the news again. Do you have any European or GBP news? 9. Natural gas storage. A lot of FOMC members speaking. Oh, you know what I'm going to do, guys? I think I'm going to get myself some chocolate. Normally I do that at night, but because it's a long stream and I'm just enjoying myself, I think it's a good one. I'm gonna get some other hot, nice hot little thing. What am I saying? That was a weird sentence. I think I made a really weird sentence there. I'm gonna make a hot. I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know what I said. I don't wanna know. Take me home, home, home. Loving the show, so so. As you need to Price is just moving slowly. Slowly, slowly. Oh, are you running now? Are you going? Oh, I'm looking at the old. I'm looking at another screen. Hold on. No. Sometimes my own screen that I'm looking at is behind, and then I'm thinking it's an old one, but it's just forming straight line liquidity. Or spam. Get it away. Go away. We don't like spammers. Okay. Let me quickly open the door for my kitties. It's a little bit chilly today again here. Maybe that's some yes. Probably put it back off very soon. You'll see me go back up. Ayo. Okie dokie. What are you doing, Price? We're just waiting till that level is going to be broken and we'll get a good trade. There'll be a solid level at some point that we see very clearly a retest or something. It'll show up. Sometimes just takes time. It is a win for me just waiting and just really waiting for a proper setup and just taking the time to really, patience. Patience is important in this line of business we are in. You manage to get that. I think it's half of the. I think it's really a big part of your growth. I think technical analysis is a big thing as well. But once that's, I think the easy part to, so to speak. So getting the technical knowledge is just a matter of working and studying. But then I think the other thing that, I don't want to say psychology. Well, it is sort of like psychology, but it's like you have to sort of like rewire your brain a little bit. And because we are just wired, especially I used to work, like, for me, work is, you have to do things, you have to get things done, you have to, you have to be productive. And the more productive you are, but being productive also helps you, gain knowledge. So it's a double-edged sword, right? But in trading, you have to sort of like get less productive and just apply that knowledge in a very small amount of time, or just wait until that time sort of like shows itself. And I think that's, for me, in all honesty, that is the hardest thing. That was the hardest thing. I don't want to say I'm really struggling with it anymore, but I still fall in the trap, and I still get a little bit impatient. But I'm getting much better at it, and I think the streaming helps as well. But I think it's a constant. You need to, work on that. Remind yourself, because the market is designed to get you into that fear and greed status, so that it triggers like certain things in your behavior, right? And it's like curiosity. Oh my God, is it gonna go now? And it's that dopamine rush that you get from a green trade, right? So that's why I sometimes now stand up, and I do it also on stream. I just walk away, because you need to like reset yourself a little bit. It's like your cortisol levels. Like when you have a losing trade, for example, your brain wants to, it gets into a loop. It wants to sort of like, you get into the fight and flight status. So what it wants to do, it wants to either go back straight into the charts to make up for the loss, right? But it's like your brain wants to sort of like make it better again. So either you need to walk away and reset yourself by just walking away, getting a coffee, or what also really helps, and that I don't think it's very hard for me to do, especially on stream, is journal that trade straight away. That closes the loop for the brain. So the brain doesn't want to, so it doesn't go back into the chart. It doesn't make you go back into the chart to fix the mistake, because your journaling already fixed it. So it's like you have to close the loop. You have to find out, okay, how do I get the that cortisol levels down again? And because every losing trade or even a winning trade actually also gives you that, gives you a dopamine thing. And I also try now to, when I have a good winning trade, I also go away a little bit, just take a little walk, get a coffee, because it's also the dopamine hit that is also sort of addictive, I guess. I never had a addiction, never. But I do think that trading, and the more you trade and the more you're into the chart, it does, like, wow, am I really does my brain respond to it in a specific way? That was very weird to me, to really sort of like to have to acknowledge that, right? So I started doing studying about. I was more in like, oh, why do I still overtrade sometimes? What happens in my brain? Why do I go on tilt? I went on tilt one time. I was like, why the f does it happen? I'm profitable now. I have a model. I know, you've said it so many times. You know exactly what was going on. Why does it happen? And then I noticed that other very, very good traders that I know had the same thing. So I really started looking into that topic. Like, what is it? It's not discipline, because I consider myself a disciplined person. But then again, I get into that moment, right? So then I actually made a video on it, because it's biology. It's not only discipline, it's also biology. And it's so fascinating that we are just wired, how we are wired, and the market is designed for us to fall into that trap. So it's not weird that we all are. I think most of us are struggling with it, or at least have struggled with it, and then you need to figure out a way how to deal with it. And that's important. But it's not, I got really like not insecure, but what's wrong with me? Am I really not that disciplined? But what can I do more? I am, I'm already journaling every day, and I'm already doing this, I'm already doing that, and I don't mind doing it. But I was like, am I not doing enough? You know. So that was really weird. But then I found out, okay, I understand now. So now it's okay, because I'm like, okay, I know what happens, and I understand the brain. And it's also the amygdala. It makes like, it sends signals, and then it makes certain hormones, and just taking a walk already just helps a lot. Just getting you have to recenter yourself and just get back to it. But hey, guys, if you have ever just start journaling that trade, and just if you ever overtrade, or you have revenge trading issues, and I believe we all have, or you get into tilt, just really force yourself to walk away, just or journal. And it's very it sounds like, why should I journal, right? When the market's open? Yes, you don't want to go over, you don't want to trade straight after a losing trade, because 90% of the times it will be a losing trade again. So It's so fascinating. Everything about the trading business is fascinating, I think. Yeah. And it's such a emphasis. It's just such a big mirror, right? Um, Everything that you think you're not, you don't have, you actually, oh, really? Okay, no, something I might need to have to work on. But anyway, now our patience has been tested and we're doing very well. I have 3 losses, but that's okay. They're minor, so I can come back from those easily if I just wait for the proper setup, which will present itself at some point. And if not, it does not present itself, right? That's also okay. Mm. So for now, I'm just waiting if we are going to take out that liquidity, and then we'll just see if price is going to give us a nice opportunity to get in for either way. Let's have a look at gold again. Maybe we should get looking into gold. I've been very negative on gold lately, so I've been very nasty to her. Hello, gold. How are you doing? How is it going? Okay, you're back in that 4-hour area, which I don't like, but it's okay. We need to go through it again. It's a beautiful market maker model again. It's almost similar, right, to NQ if you look at it. Just on its way up, respecting those levels here, creating relatively equals as well here. It took out equal highs here. It's creating equals here. It looks like it's going to take this level here. So I'll have a look at IPTA again. Let me go to the daily. Okay, I'll look at the IPTA levels here. Now, so I calculated these IPTA levels. Obviously now the range has grown, but I noticed yesterday that these 50% level, the bodies were not going over 50, so I'm leaving it because I think, okay, it does respect those older levels, and I'm not changing it because I think it's premium discount still in play. So what did we do? The IPTA 20 levels we have now fully. If we're going down, what I do like about gold, now the smart money always refers to IPTA, right? So we have the 20, 40, and 60 days level. Now the question is, you can see we have nothing left in IPTA 20. We have taken out all imbalances, right? This is the last imbalance of the IPTA 20. So if we are going down, we have to look into this IPTA 40, the 40 PD rate, and obviously at some point it will be the 60, but we don't look at the 60 now, we just look at the IPTA 40. But there is not much left. Yes, that's why I'm saying I don't like this area because I don't trust it. Like, look at this. There is a fair value gap, but there is no imbalance here anymore. There are just wicks which are overlapping, right? So for me, that's why I'm saying every time I'm just not interested in gold at the moment. Um, because I would rather it see, for example, now it could go higher. It could just disrespect everything, right? And even though this is no imbalance, we still have an imbalance here. Um, but this could be the breakaway gap, and this could be the measuring gap of the range. Let's see if that makes sense. Oh wow, look at that. That's exactly the IPTA 40. That's okay. Well, if this will be the measuring gap, then the low of the range will be around here then. So so I'm just trying to see if we get a manipulation to the upside and distribution to the downside and then into the IPTA 40. That's what I'm thinking. But then again, hey, it just could go. It doesn't have to do this. It could leave this for years, right? So maybe we get a manipulation move in the IPTA 40 and then a back up and then take out these equal highs. This should be it. Yeah. And maybe half, maybe into this area here. Manipulation move. So that's why I'm sort of like waiting for gold to show its hand, because we're in accumulation. You know, I want to see the AMD accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So I'm really waiting for that. I'm just going to let this, even on the daily, it's just, you know, it is just high. This is really high time for consolidation. So I'm just not interested on gold. So that was gold again. I really can't make anything of it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We have got a movement. We have some movement. Maybe I should stop the stream and then come back later today. Maybe take a break. Because now it's 6:44, and then I like to trade after 10 o'clock. So maybe I should come back after 10 o'clock. I wonder if there's a lot of things going to, if we're just not going to have a lot of, yeah, there might be one move, but then again, I think it's better to do that. Just take a small break, get my chocolate, and I'll come back in the a little bit later than not. I just don't want to trade the AM session. I think. Well, I do want to trade the AM, but not 9:30. Yeah, because I think it's a little bit too long to sit through here and then wait all the time. Because I would rather do the lunch PM session as well. That's my favorite. So let it consolidate, and then we have yeah, I hope that's okay with you guys. So then I'm gonna leave it here for now, because there's not much really happening, and then I'll see you guys later today, and then hopefully we have some more prices and we know more. We have more intel as well. But remember, we have a lot of intel already, right? We got a lot of information. On the lows, we know the highs. We can use the TGIF levels. So we've got a lot of things now that we can use. Gold, I'm just not interested as long as we're in that area, as I said. So I would rather focus on NQ. That might give a better move for today. But then we'll see. So I'm going to leave it here for now, and I'll see you guys later. And thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out with me. And thank you for supporting, subscribing. And I hope to see you again later today. So ciao ciao for now, and touch some grass if you can, or just enjoy yourself before, just recharge yourself before coming back to the charts. Very important, guys. We cannot sit behind the charts all day, even though we like to sometimes. But not good for the brain. I'll see you guys later. Thank you, guys.